How's it going, YWC? Guy on internet who doesn't like reviews here, bringing you a TNA Impact Wrestling review, week 5 or 4. Yeah, was it? No, week 6. Now it's week 6 of the TNA World Title Series. And this show has some very good matches. 2 in particular, 1 solo show. One was, hey, when I tell you the 2 guys involved, you already know what kind of quality it was. So let's start off the show. It was Madison Rayne versus Brooke. Madison Rayne focused on Brooke's I think it was the wrist, which in the end turned out to be the difference maker because Brooke tried to go for her Butterface Maker flapjack move with the same move that Jushin Thunder Liger uses. She tried to go for that one, couldn't get Madison Rayne up. Madison Rayne countered with the raindrop. Madison Rayne's on the board with 3 points. Then you had the next match, which was Bram, the maniacal nutcase, the bitter terror, the Chesterfield Plague versus Rockstar Spud. And like always, Rockstar Spud, he's somewhat of a giant killer, but in the end, he just couldn't stand up to Bram's brutality in a way. Yes, Rockstar Spud did look good in this match, but Bram was just too much Bram. That's even a word for that one. That even makes sense. Bram ends up hitting the brighter side of suffering and getting on the board with 3 points himself. Then you had Manic versus Mandrews. A very good S Division match. Hopefully, when all this is said and done, they finally get a story in the World Title Series or whatever. I'm thinking, they just popped in my head right now, Manic versus Tigre Uno, Mask versus Mask. We all want to see TJ Perkins. We don't want Manic anymore, or we want all we want is TJP. That's what we want. We want TJP. So if there was a way to have a Mask versus Mask match versus those 2 people, Uno and Manic, and you could turn Uno heel, and then we could have TJ as face, I think that could be an interesting storyline out of the S Division. Anyway, in this match, a lot of good chain wrestling, but in the end, Manic ends up winning with his new finisher, Kick to Kill Part 2, or as he's calling it now, the detonator kick. The detonator kick, where he lifts the guy up and does like a shoulder toss or whatever, but then he like kicks down his head, wins the match with that one. Then you have the next match, Kenny King versus Shera. A very interesting match. Shera's power versus Kenny King's athleticism, and in the end, Shera, he catches Kenny King trying to come off the top rope. Sorry, the bird, for a blockbuster, and he turns it into a sky high and ends up winning the match. Not the best match, but still pretty solid, and what a sky high from Shera. So Shera gets I think he already had, so he's up to 6 points, and I think he's the leader in team, not in group wild card, if I'm not mistaken. Then you have, in my opinion, the best match of the night, Eddie Edwards versus Davey Richards. The 2 Wolves going head to head, both of them at 0 points. And if you've seen some of the matches in ROH, you already know what kind of treat we were in for. It went the whole 15 minutes. They tore the house down. Very good moves in this match, but in the end, it went to a time limit draw, like I said. And at the end, the Wolves had a promo backstage where they were talking about, what they have and how the Wolves Nation has grown, and how it's not just them, it's the fans, and what they have, their charisma, their fighting skills, the in-ring ability, and all that is not something that's manufactured in a factory or whatever. Pretty much taking shots at NXT. So enjoyable match, enjoyable promo at the end. And then you had the last match, which was the second best match of the night, Bobby Roode versus the maniacal Bearded Terror. Did I call Brown the Bearded Terror? But anyway, Eric Young. Another good match. But Eric Young ends up winning off of a referee discretion and ends up hitting the jumping power driver on Bobby Roode to finally get on the board for 3 points. So in group knockouts, it's kind of all even. So it's hard to say who's going to be moving on to the, I think the next round. And then also in the TNA originals, everybody had 3 points. So that's very interesting. The Wolves both have 1 point in tag team specialists. Matt Hardy is sitting high. I think they have 6 points. Yeah, I think he does he. Yep, I think he has 6 points. Um, Robbie E has 3, and the Wolves have 1. So it's possible for one of the Wolves to advance, or Rue or Robbie E and whatever. It's a lot of good possibilities. I like that because, for one, it's not predictable. It's not predictable who's going to move on. Well, maybe besides EC3, because obviously he's going to move on somewhere. I don't know if he's going to be in the finals, but we're going to see. So, you know what? Here's what I'm going to say. TNA Impact gets a passing grade from me, and I think you should see it. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.